3 movies. Have you done that?
Hi, I'm Brandon. I love Showtime Christmas movies.
I'm Dan and I despise Showtime Christmas movies.
I'm Alonzo, and we have got to stop letting Brand pick the movies, and this
is the Deck the Hallmark podcast.
What the heck, man?
The Hallmark, it's his podcast. Brandon and friends host this podcast. We hope you like this jolly podcast.
I was given a task.
Yeah, I don't know.
Find as many Christmas movies from as many different networks as possible.
It's true. The odds were not in your favor on this
No
Brand.
one gave me any other parameters.
After Christmas in July, we're regrouping. Like, we're circling the wagons. We're doing something different, right? Or are we doing this still?
No, we're still doing this. What do you mean?
I thought, like, this was to get us to Christmas in July. Like, last year, you guys did the 25 weeks of Christmas,
right.
And then July hit. You didn't do that after July.
Yeah, that was its own thing.
So, okay. So now we're just constantly on the hunt for movies that aren't from Hallmark or Lifetime? That's basically what we're doing here?
Yeah.
From 2022. That's
Why is it so hard for you to...
I guess. But why don't we just cover all the ones people liked we didn't get to? Why are we having to do different networks?
Because that's what we're doing.
It's like we're actively avoiding getting new listeners.
No.
It's like there's all these.
Do you have a list of good non-Hallmark Christmas movies in 2022?
There were movies that made like the cultural zeitgeist or people in the community were talking about. Why don't we cover those movies?
It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist.
Why don't we cover like the one that like the movies on Lifetime that we didn't cover with Lifetime Uncorked from 2022?
Because Patrick does that.
But we're not going to go back and do those with him.
Well, I don't know. Maybe. I just...
we're
it's
stuck
y'all's
with,
show, you know. I'm just tagging
We're
along.
here stuck with 100 minutes of Tom Arnold's ties at different lengths. Like, that's what we're doing.
But think about if we hadn't seen it. I'll just say this. I haven't gotten one email from people saying stop it. So...
Is that what it takes?
At least one. Not from you. Don't stop. Put the email away. And we get to see Alonzo every week.
No, I am here for...
Why do you not want to see Alonzo every week?
No. Don't you try
That's
it.
what you heard, right, Alonzo?
Don't
That's
you
what
try
I heard.
it.
A little bit.
No, Alonzo started with, we got to stop letting Brand pick these. You know that I'm here for us to do this once a week. The method of, well, what's the next network we got left?
I don't know what to tell you guys.
We're going to have to start making these movies ourselves at some point.
Yes. This is all a ploy.
Be Kind Rewind situation.
We're talking about a wonderful time of the year, a Showtime movie.
Yeah, it is.
Showtime, the creators of lots of...
Brian Harold sent an email that says, stop it.
Oh.
Well done, Brian Harold,
Someone's
from the next
feeling
room over.
Left out.
Fantastic.
Brian, you want to sit in on these, you know, you're welcome.
I've never told Brian to kick rocks.
That's a lie. That's a lie from the pit
I
of
wouldn't
hell.
do that. That's not my speed. I'm always very encouraging.
What's his name on Twitter?
Kick Rocks Brian? I don't know.
Yes, thank you. That was it.
Kick
Is
Rocks.
that it? He made a Twitter account? That's
Or
Kick
Instagram,
Rocks?
one of them. He's Kick Rocks Brian on the social
So
media.
he leaned into that. So now
So
I
you can say Kick Rocks Brian and just say, no, I was referring to your handle.
Yeah.
Nothing we could do.
So Showtime, the creators of a lot of great stuff.
Dexter. Ray
Yellow
Donovan.
Jackets.
Yellow Jackets.
Yellow Jackets.
And their logo is on the cover of A Wonderful Time of the Year.
Yeah.
It originally aired on December 1st, 2022. And it went a little something like this. It's Black Friday. We are at a glasses store, and they are lined up to get a new pair of... You guys know how Apple just announced Apple Vision? It's just like that, except way worse. But everyone's super pumped about it. There are people outside of the store banging on the door, open up the door. I'm not entirely sure they're not zombies, but they are really excited to get their hands on these glasses. There's a kid named Chris who's working there. And after his crazy shift, he goes to visit his crush, Lee, at the animal shelter. They do some chit chat. They talk about dogs and stuff, and how her dream is to walk dogs for a living, which is not a bit. Then he gets home and his dad's girlfriend, Jen, is starting to decorate for Christmas. We proceed to see her decorate the entire house. More on that later, I'm sure.
Just maybe.
This is this is a big deal. This is, I think, the first time she's spent Christmas with the family. Chris's mom, she's no longer with us. Jen is significantly younger than Chris's dad. Chris's dad's name is Jim. It's Jen and Jim is who we have.
Is there
here.
an Alf in this movie?
Yeah, there is.
Okay, good.
Jim comes home and he wants, and he and Jen talk about how his late wife's family is still coming for Christmas and that they're a lot. And she's like, I'm excited. I found your wife's cookbook. Everything's going to be great. Lee has a strained relationship with her mom. We know this because her mom literally says, "You're an adult. Stop calling me." And so Lee is stuck living in someone's basement on a mattress. So she's doing just fine. We see that Jim has a ring and is planning to propose to Jen, but drops the ring in the bathroom. He is trying to find it, can't find it. Laundry room. Sorry. It also becomes clear that Chris really does not like that Jen is so much younger than his dad. We suddenly go from 15 days until Christmas to 15 hours until Christmas. So in other words, it's Christmas Eve. It's Christmas Eve. While trying to hide Jen's panties, don't ask, he finds the ring, Chris does. The ring that his dad lost a few weeks ago. He suddenly remembers how many times over the past month he has found his dad in the laundry room and being scram, the laundry room's closed, get out of here. And now it all suddenly makes sense. And he's very upset that his dad's going to propose to her. Lee is getting ready to go to Chris's for Christmas Eve. Her ride leaves, so she is left trying to figure that out. She just decides she's going to walk. Chris is using his fancy glasses to shoot fake missiles at the engagement ring. So he's doing great. Lee shows up at the house. Then the rest of the family starts to show up. This family is a lot. There's a lot going on here. There is Tom Arnold, who plays Grandpa Alf. Yeah. There's a conspiracy theorist, a TikToker, a couple of sad sacks, even Funkle Pat, who isn't Funkle anymore. He lectures Jim, Funkle Pat does, his brother, about being with someone so young. And so no one is happy with him and the fact that he is with Jen. They do a white elephant thing, and there's a huge fight over money. And so Lee, not related to this family, shouldn't really be here to begin with, breaks out in song. And then she follows that song up with a speech
for the ages.
A speech for the ages about how lucky they are to have everyone here in this room. Slides into, man, the pandemic sucked, huh? Slides into, hey, Amy was your mom. Amy was your wife. Amy was your daughter. Amy was your sister. Really making everybody just really sit and linger with the fact that Amy's dead. Don't forget it. Don't. It's happened. And so that leaves Tom Arnold gets up, gives a speech because we needed that. And then Jim stands up and he gives a speech. So many speeches, so much time. Then Jim goes from his speech and slides right on down to his knee, and he proposes. No ring in the box. Chris says, "Hey, Dad, I got you." So gives his dad the ring. And Jen says, no, not now, maybe not ever. Which she then slides into a speech of her own about how amazing Amy was. Tom Arnold tells Lee that he wants to invest money into her dog business, and thankfully the glasses now tell us that it is Christmas Day. And that, my friends, was a wonderful time of the year.
We did
it, everybody.
it.
Let's take a quick break. Lisa gets it. Lisa says, why would you pick good popular movies? That's exactly right.
I think Lisa's being sarcastic.
I don't think so. I think
Degree of difficulty.
We're all having a good time. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk about this movie and all that they talk about here on Deck the Hallmark.
Deck the Hallmark.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Deck the Hallmark. We're talking about a wonderful time of the year, the Showtime joint from 2022. We have 4 segments to break this movie down. We're going to start with the hot take, and I will start with Alonzo, the hottest out of the 3 of us, I would say. I think that's not even really all that close. Mm-hmm. Alonzo, what do you think about A Wonderful Time of the Year?
Oh boy. I'll tell you, one of my favorite genre of Christmas movies is the dysfunctional family dark comedy Christmas movie. I think those can be really entertaining, and they can really sort of like have a different spin on Christmas and still like find its way towards some kind of like reconciliation or redemption or the things you want out of a Christmas movie. I also am really interested in media that acknowledges that the pandemic happened, because so few do. So many TV shows just pretend like, oh yeah, 2020, it's when we all went to the Grand Canyon. Like there's no, so it's rare still, I think, for movies or TV shows to be like, hey, remember that thing where we were all stuck at home and it was really terrible? So that's got all that going for it, and it's still terrible. This is a poorly filmed. Tom Arnold is either an underrated actor or just shines when he's the only person who's remotely competent in a film. But the only performance that was worth watching here. Yeah, this was kind of agonizing, and plenty of wait what's to come, but one of the worst we've ever done.
I agree with Alonzo. Dan and I were having a conversation while we were watching this movie about if this is the worst. Like, is it worse than Christmas in Carolina? He says no, because it is clearly a better made. It's better made.
Sure.
Yes.
You know who these people are and how they're related to each other.
That's right.
Yes, but that was half the fun.
Do you see that guy on TV? He was my mentor. This is an all-time.
Dr. John arrived.
Dr. John, that's
the
right.
reason why this movie rivals it in my mind is the glasses. It is all movie long. It is nonstop. And to paint the picture for the people at home that didn't track this movie down, there are these glasses. They look like they look like regular sunglasses. You're supposed to believe they're smart glasses. And there's just lots of like tapping on them. And every time they want to update you on how many days, how many hours until Christmas, there is a screen that you're supposed to understand as being what you're seeing in the glasses, with this frame and a countdown to Christmas and this weird jingle. And it happens so many times. We go from 15 days to 15 hours back to like 21, 30 days, 21 days. We did the countdown all over again to show that Dad was looking for the ring. And they couldn't just show you like a bunch of those. They have to do the countdown thing with the jingle every single time. And then for some reason, every time we go to like a different scene or when the countdown's done, you see someone taking off the glasses. Like it's like yes. we're wearing the glasses.
It's first person.
So it's
POV.
It's like we're there. And that makes it worse. I didn't like that. It was such a weird, unnecessary, odd. I didn't like the count. If you want to work like smart glasses into the movie, that's fine. Just don't try to sell us on it, because it made it so much worse. The countdown I didn't like. The taking the glasses off didn't like. That made it that much tougher. But there's also, for how many speeches there are in this movie, there's also so much silence.
Oh my gosh.
There's so much silence. There's so much of just like doing tasks. Like I always tell people that most of the dreams that I remember are literally just me doing mundane like chores around the house. That's how boring I am. I'm like, I'm doing laundry. That's this movie for like the first half. It's just like, let's set up for Christmas. Let's learn to cook. It's just, what is it?
There's an idea that montage is supposed to be the compression of time through editing.
That's right. Yeah,
Not here.
Not here.
No.
Not
I
here.
forgot that first part.
So much longer. And with all of that, with the glasses, with the silence, there's also just not a single likable person in this whole movie. I didn't like this family. The only likable person in this movie is a guy who sits in his rocking chair and yells, I'm rocking and Merry Christmas. That's his only part in this movie. Doesn't come back for any real explanation. So tough goings for me. Possibly the worst. I would watch, obviously I have watched Christmas in Carolina again, but I would watch that 1,000 times over this one again.
Yeah, I think that is the problem, is Christmas in Carolina, I believe everyone involved there set out to do something and believe they accomplished it. Like they that's it. Like they didn't leave going, maybe we should have explained Dr. John, or maybe we shouldn't do the mentor thing. Like, I believe they made the movie exactly how they wanted to make it. This is like a complete and utter tonal misfire. Like it does not know if it is dark comedy or drama. They've forgotten to explain things through a visual medium. They don't understand that making you feel like a long time has happened doesn't require you to film something for a long time. And also, it's a really interesting idea, as Alonzo pointed out, to have a movie on how the pandemic changed people and changed family dynamics and made, life seem different. At the very, very least, seem maybe a little bit longer or a little bit shorter, depending on who you are or who you were with or who your family was. All of those are interesting topics. It's a fascinating idea for a movie. It is. This movie is a fascinating idea for a movie, but this is the worst possible outcome for that idea. So in all the timelines of this movie being made, we're living in the timeline where it was made the worst. And that's unfortunate. And Alonzo's also right that Tom Arnold ends up getting a few stingers in there because we're just so taken aback by how everyone else is like not even moving or acting or doing anything.
We got to get that guy cold medicine, though.
Yes.
We got to. It's been too many
Alonzo,
years.
is there something I'm missing in Tom Arnold's life? Like 20 years ago, for the last 20 years, he sounded like he has a cold, correct?
Yeah, I think a lozenge, something.
Yes.
I don't know what's happening over there, but
I don't know if I missed something in his life where it's like all of a sudden he's like, something happened, and I like now that's how I sound.
yeah, no, Christmas scavenger hunt, same thing.
Same thing. Yeah, for forever now, it feels that way. And so my thing is it's clearly people believed in this concept. So Showtime or whomever made the movie, Tom Arnold, who maybe just was bored and wanted to be a part of it, people believed in the concept of, hey, families getting together, everything's changed, including COVID, and everyone's different because of the pandemic. How do they relate in a house together? Not a bad idea for a movie. This is a bad movie, though. In spite of all that, it is terrible. It's up there. I think it's the worst of the year. Yeah. I think it's the worst of the year.
Because
it's really bad.
Like with the pandemic stuff, like I agree. I think that there's space for it. And I felt like they were doing it okay throughout the whole movie. But then when Lee gets up there and like looks at the camera and goes, the pandemic was tough, huh?
The pandemic was hard on us.
Like I liked like throughout the movie, they were like, it's been a few years. We haven't seen the pandemic. Like letting you know, like we're not going to ignore it. But then like just to like, a very special message about how much of a bummer.
We have a lot of fun here at A Wonderful Time of the Year.
COVID sucked, huh? COVID sucked.
What
it was
we
a
don't
bummer.
joke about is the pandemic.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, at one point she's lecturing so hard with that picture right behind, and I went, The mom died of cancer, right? Like not of COVID, right? Like I'm just being clear on this.
I'm still
because we
foggy.
are mixing messages hard here. So yeah, it was a mess out there.
Let's get to the feels. So, what gave us feels?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the zombie-like shoppers at
Yeah.
the beginning of the movie because I was getting definite Dawn of the Dead feels.
Yeah.
Like that was, I think, an intentional thing on the filmmakers, and it actually, that reference landed. I just wrote down awful mom feels because between Lee's legendarily terrible
yes.
mother on the phone,
Gosh.
and then the wine slugging sister-in-law who like made her son change schools to get him away from his girlfriend during his senior year. It's like, wow, this is some next level awfulness going on here. I like the fact that Lee had a Mad Monster Party poster in her room. That was a feature film that Rankin and Bass did in the 60s. They're the guys who did the stop motion for like Rudolph and stuff. But it was all like Frankenstein and Dracula and the Wolfman. And it's a goofy movie, but it's fun. And I liked that little shout out. I love Tom Arnold showing up and saying to Lee, "You must be Jen," which is like,
Classic.
Confusing the teenage son's girlfriend with the dad's girlfriend. That made me laugh. And Daniel, I think you'll appreciate this one. The movie never says it out loud, but I looked at IMDb. Do you know what Alf's last name is?
No.
Landon.
Oh my goodness. That's a really quality bit.
Yes. Explain, historian.
I know the show Alf.
Alf Landon is a governor of Kansas.
Oh,
And what did he do, Alonzo?
He was trounced by FDR.
That's right. FDR just destroyed him. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely destroyed him. I'm on a little bit less sleep than I want to be. And I'm like,
does this
all right.
have anything to do with the alien Alf that lives with the family, or
It
no?
does not.
Different. They
Correct.
it's a Venn diagram.
Now,
But
there's
yeah,
some-
Alf Landon is like one of the great sort of like loser candidates of all time.
Yeah. That's fantastic that they did that. For those of us who went to the notes for this movie.
There you go.
Yes,
That's all I got.
Of course.
I love it.
I mean, I guess my biggest feels in this movie is just me and Dan playing a fun game called Where's Tom Arnold's Tie Gonna Be? Like, that was fun. Like, throughout the movie, it is anywhere from, like, the knot is anywhere from, like, the center of his chest to, like,
All
right
the way,
there,
and
all the way
it
up.
starts down low, and
Right.
by the end of the movie is
It
up
works its
by
way
his
back
neck.
up. Yep.
Yes.
So that's fun. I like that.
Continuity is for losers.
Yeah.
Dano?
I have an actual feels.
Okay.
I think there's one of my favorite potential comedic gags for a Christmas movie in this movie, and they ruin it, and they don't do it well. But in this movie, they do a white elephant gift, and of all these white elephant gifts, one is a wad of, it has to be $10,000. So one of the gifts that you can receive is 10 grand in cash. And so you can steal in white elephant gifts. And so the idea that there's this one gift and so they all fight over it is a great idea for a funny, like just a funny gag in a movie. And so I like that they tried it, although it didn't work out. So there you go.
Let's take one more quick.
Although, listening to Alonzo talk about a couple of the funny parts in this movie and thinking about the white elephant gag, I think I may take it over the unicorn movie. The only reason I wouldn't is because this is 10 minutes longer, but it's close.
You're wrong. You're wrong for that. We're gonna take a quick break. We'll come back with the wait what, and it's showtime here on Check the Hallmark. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Deck the Homework. We're talking about a wonderful time of the year from Showtime in 2022. It is time for the wait what. If there's any to go around, Alonzo, I'll let you bat lead off.
Ooh, wowsy woo woo. Okay, let's start with the terrible Photoshop of the picture of the dead mom that is like such a major centerpiece prop in this movie.
It's tough.
There are three people in this picture. The dad, who's in the movie, Tom Arnold, who's in the movie, and the mom, who obviously is not. It would not have been that hard to get those three people together to shoot a picture. And instead, they clearly got the dad and the mom together and then like graphed on this weird shot of Tom Arnold looking off into the distance that just looks so fake. And it's like, I get it. Did you see the Left Behind with Nicolas Cage?
Of course.
Yeah, saw it in the theater.
Yes, well, ditto, but for different reasons, I'm sure. Anyway,
because we want to be prepared for the rapture.
Yeah,
of
what,
course.
What other reason is there?
Yeah, I wish we'd been ready. Anyway, there's this family picture that has like Nicolas Cage in it and has Leah Thompson in it, and they are never in the movie together. So of course, for the photo, it's like this weird Photoshop thing, and so it's like, okay, I get it. You only got them for 2 days or whatever. These people were all there at the same time, or could have been. So like, there's no.
You're literally putting them on camera.
Yes,
take a still shot for crying out loud.
And this is a photo that we're gonna like be referring to throughout the entire movie. It is like an essential. It's not like it's just some like bit of set deck. Like this is a thing we're gonna focus on for the next 2 hours. Like maybe put a little time into that. The decor montage.
Oh my god.
It's still happening.
One for the ages.
I thought that would you like why not just show her opening every box? Like it just takes so
we
long.
watched her try to hang a wreath on a wall
interminable
for over a minute of literally just like, why is it not sticky?
I just don't understand. If you're like really pushing it for time and you need an extra 5 minutes, I may be willing to say, all right, you just didn't edit it well. This movie's an hour and a half long. And this montage is silent. Like time stands still as she tries to wrap a banister. It's absurd. It is absurd what we watch in this movie in that decorating scene. It's unreal.
To say nothing of the fact this is a movie where people put wreaths on the insides of their doors, which is
classic.
What are we even doing here?
Classic.
At one point during the montage, she says out loud, and maybe she's addressing the dead wife, I'm not sure, but she says, "Not only do I have your touch." Here's a fun fact about English grammar. Not only is always followed by but also.
That's right.
So she leaves us hanging on a not only, and I'm like,
but what else?
But
what
also
else?
what?
Not only is this deck the Hallmark, Brian, what were your wavelengths? What are you doing?
That shoe is still hanging in midair. Okay. So the glasses can do all these things. It can give you the annoying countdown to Christmas calendar, and apparently you can look at Insta on it and all this stuff. But apparently one of the things it can do is look at two people in real life or a photograph and tell you whether or not they are genuinely happy.
It's a very specific thing these glasses do.
Technology is so amazing, and it would be more amazing if he ever looked at anything and it said anything besides genuinely happy. But he only does it to things that are going to give him that response. So maybe that's all they say. I don't know.
Not hot dog.
Not exactly. Loaf of bread, dog. There is a blackout in this movie.
Yeah.
Do they light candles? No. Do they put a weird green filter on the lens to make it look like we're in the dark? Yes. Have either of you seen Barry Lyndon?
No.
That's Kubrick movie from the 70s. They had to invent a whole new kind of film for it because he wanted to have certain nighttime indoor scenes lit by candlelight, which they do, and it's gorgeous and it's really great. I'm not expecting that level of cinematography from A Wonderful Time of the Year, but do not slap a green filter on the lens and tell me that we're sitting in a blackout, because if there are visible candles in the room, but none of them are lit
at all.
So are we meant to assume that people are looking at each other in the dark and having these conversations in the dark, or none of it makes sense? It made me very.
And it'd be
very
one
annoyed.
thing if it was a very quick scene, but it is 20 minutes.
It's a third of the movie.
It's the last.
Everyone's skin looks jaundiced. It looks really, really bad.
Just like this show does right now.
Just like on right now, Alonzo's disappeared.
And finally, if there's ever a movie that has not earned the right to drag Santa magic in, it's this one.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, Alonzo.
It's like, whoa.
And he never comes back.
No.
He never comes back.
No.
Santa adopts a dog. For those of you that didn't watch it, like he just like shows up. I don't even know why.
And he disappears. It's the weirdest thing in the world.
This is a Santa who pretty much breaks and enters, and that's about it. So, you know. Anyway, that's what I got.
Chris's hat at the beginning of this movie is the weirdest Santa hat I've ever seen. It's more like almost like a I don't even know. It's like a clown hat. It's just very specific. It's like how most hats look on me. Chris also at some point, I'm just going to keep talking about Chris's wardrobe apparently. Chris at one point wears a shirt that says burrito. It's a cat inside of a burrito, and above it says burrito. And at first I'm looking at it and I'm like, that's fun, I guess. But then I start to think about it more, and it's a cat burrito, and that's bothersome. We shouldn't
Is the cat still alive?
The cat looks alive.
Okay.
Cat looks alive, but
so it's just a fun bit.
Not for long.
If it was a dead cat in a burrito, then we'd be asking all kinds of questions.
Burrito.
Well, see, the cat inside the burrito is both alive and
it's Schrodinger's burrito, of course.
Yeah. Bingo.
There is a Jim, a Jen, and a Jack in this movie, and I just want to let them know that there's other letters like to start names with.
Alpha's already taken.
So our guy Chris takes a picture of a picture that he's holding, a picture that is now prominently on the mantle of him, his mom, and his dad. And he takes the picture with his glasses, which, by the way, these glasses, anything you want to do, it takes a double tap.
That's right.
It doesn't matter what it is. It's a double tap. He goes up to his room. He puts his glasses back on. He's now looking at that picture through the lenses. And he says, they're acting like you don't matter or didn't exist. And that's just factually incorrect, seeing as how Jen pulled the picture out and put it on the mantle.
That's right.
To show everyone.
Correct.
This woman existed.
Yeah.
And she mattered.
Yeah.
Give her a break, am I right? So we get a scene here. Someone in the chat said they don't want to hear me say panties again. So, like,
sorry.
There's a scene where Chris
you can just say underwear.
No, I'm not going to. Panties.
It'd make me more comfortable if you said underwear.
Let me talk about the panties just for a second. So
yeah,
Chris,
no, I'm starting. Whoever that was, I'm starting to be on their side of things.
Finds some of Jen's panties.
Come on, man.
in his laundry thing, and he's gonna go do laundry. And
it was Holly. That doesn't shock me at all.
He's then decides, instead of washing the panties in with the rest of his stuff, he's going to then try to hide the panties anywhere that he can.
He's playing hide the panties.
He's playing hide the panties. We've all been there. And he is putting it in like a tissue box. He's putting it in everywhere. He's trying to hide these suckers in like an electrical panel. Do you know like how you could have had less time handling the panties? By just putting them in the wash.
Yes.
Because guess what? That has a door. You don't have to see them. Yeah. Instead, he's like, let me put them in here. Let me put them in here. It was wild. It was wild. But then we see before that, this scene where he is... he gets the panties. He decides, I need to wash these clothes.
Already.
So there's... we fast forward.
This is why you never ask.
That's right.
We fast forward, and he wants to go into the room to wash the panties and his clothes, and he finally finds the ring, the dad's ring that was lost, and we then get a flashback of the last 3 weeks.
Yep.
Of all the weird times his dad has said don't go in the laundry room. What has Chris been wearing for 3 weeks? Like, there's not more laundry than what's on his bed. So has he been wearing the same thing for 3 weeks?
You gotta go to a laundromat or whatever.
You think so?
I think that's what he must have done.
He must have done that, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess.
You know you're out of clean clothes when you wear the burrito
Yeah,
shirt.
the burrito shirt.
Burrito shirt. That's right. Yeah.
That's all I got.
Do you
Dan?
have any good books?
I don't know, man. Everything's a mess today.
Everything.
Dan, you just go. You go.
Yeah, I don't have many left. You guys took a lot of the big ones. I had like, hey, why don't you put the underwear in the laundry room? I
You
don't
talking
know.
about the panties?
Yeah, those. That's exactly right. I figured I'd get you to a dozen times
say
there.
it. Say
I
it.
said it once already.
You already said panties?
I did. You can take it to the tape. I said it.
Yes.
You bet I will.
So did Rick. We both were on board.
Everybody.
Yeah. This woman who looked at a proposal and said, no, not now, maybe not ever, spends an inordinate amount of time trying to make everything perfect for this guy's family. Like everything, every glass, every silverware, every decoration. It just seems like either she really does love this guy or she doesn't love him. I just thought there was a real disconnect between what she does the whole movie long.
Yeah.
I've never seen a Christmas TV movie, talk this much about a proposal for the woman to just go, yeah, that's probably a no for all time for me. That's probably just consider it and absolutely not. The girl talking to Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber, there's a bigger chance there than there is right here. It's a hard no. No. Did I try to make Christmas perfect? Yes. Was it important to me that people like me? Absolutely. Do I want to be a part of this family? Sure. Marry you? Not in your life, Buster. Not in your life.
Can we connect her with the guy from a couple of movies ago who was all like, I don't know, I don't want the baby and I don't know that I want you.
Yeah.
I think they maybe should belong
those two.
together.
Yeah, it was a hit. That guy, which I believe maybe Blake, I'm guessing is his name. That guy and Jen maybe would make a good pairing.
It was a hit.
The son gets real mad at this girl he brings over for trying to help out. Like upset, like she twice says, "Is there anything I can do to help?" Like just being kind. And Jen's like, "Yeah, if you could take stuff into the dining room, that'd be great." And he looks at her like she just just is the worst person. He's like, "God, Alice, why are you here? You want to help bring things to the table?"
Lee's her name.
Lee's her name?
Lee is her name.
Her middle name's Alice.
Lee Alice.
What are you doing? Why do you keep asking the questions? And I do appreciate that Lee, when she starts singing, gets piano accompaniment.
Immediately
in the movie. Like, it's fine. It is what it is. But this family's fighting. They are definitely going to all be quiet when you start singing, especially if they don't know where the piano's coming from.
Yeah.
They're
usually in a movie like this, you get like a couple of bars of a cappella and then the hidden orchestra pipes in.
Yeah. So maybe dude who was with the beard, who was out doing something, is playing the piano secretly.
There you go.
I don't know. They should have had a fiddle player come out, like, time for you to come home for Christmas.
Oh,
That's what they should have done. Would've been good. That's all I got.
It's time for, just stay on us. It's time for It's Showtime. Alonzo, with your audio, what are you still wondering about?
I just want to know where my camera's even going.
It's nowhere. It's nowhere.
If you're watching on Philo TV,
You're
you're getting a
shot.
treat. Philo.tv/DTH. Yeah. Produced by Aaron Shea.
This is why Skype is still so popular.
Yeah, you're right.
My It's Showtime is a film critic I know named Matt Zoller Seitz established a rule years ago that he called the Max Cady rule. Max Cady is the character that Robert De Niro plays in Cape Fear.
Yes.
And he uses this to describe a movie where, would I enjoy this film more if Max Cady showed up and started terrorizing everyone in the cast?
Yes.
This movie absolutely is a Max Cady rule movie. Please, I want Robert De Niro to show up with a cigar and just torment all of these people because they're all
That's
terrible.
a great rule and a great movie, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Here for that.
Would watch.
Okay, so we're all given speeches about Amy, and one of the things that Amy apparently did is on Chris's first birthday, she wrote her son a poem and then sent it to the local newspaper and they published it. What? But also, Dad says, "Do you remember that?" He was one.
There's one.
He was one. He doesn't. But shout out. Is that a thing people do? They just send their birthday poems to the newspaper for publication?
No.
A Christmas Story Christmas would have us believe that the local paper is starved for this kind of human interest.
Of course they are.
Guys, come see this poem someone just sent in for their 1-year-old.
Front page.
We have to publish this. We have to publish. I know we've
Stop the
already
presses.
sent it to print. Stop the printer.
Stop the presses is the phrase there.
Stop the presses.
Stop the printer.
I know.
Hey, turn off the HP LaserJet.
I know. We've already sent it to the printer press. The press.
It's literally called the printing press since Gutenberg invented it.
But stop it. This is a poem for a 1-year-old that we must publish. Do you remember it?
Can you imagine the local paper being like, I think I have a front page headline, but I don't have anything on pages 2 to 16. Is there any child poems that we have out there? We can fill the pages up.
We gotta put something opposite all these coupons.
That's right. Yeah. Mine is Google Glasses did this already. No one likes a screen glass thing. They're trying it again. What about this movie were they trying to predict what was the point of doing that? Is the best question for Showtime that I have is like, of all the ways that you could like go from one scene to another, transition, have something, this seemed to be the worst way. So what was the impetus behind having these like Men in Black Ray-Bans that can do the things with the double tap?
Well, I will say this. Actual Ray-Bans have this whole weird thing with meta going on now where there's it comes with a little camera inside the frame. Like when I was looking at glasses to buy these, they were offering me those. I was like, yeah, no. This just seems like a lot of no. But they're out there. It is a thing in the world. But that's not to say that this movie doesn't handle them awkwardly, because they absolutely do.
No, it does seem like we timed this perfectly. Like Apple did just announce Apple Vision. Like this is going to be their new thing. And so this was why I picked this movie.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, there's no rhyme or
there you
reason.
go.
I knew when we picked this. That brings us to next week, which is Christmas with the Campbells on AMC Plus.
Oh, wow.
Wonderful. Christmas with the Campbells on AMC Plus.
Clearly, Alonzo has seen this one.
I have not, but boy, have I heard about it.
Okay,
Wow.
great. I again don't know anything.
Me either.
Stop the
Nothing.
printing.
Stop the printing. Stop, everyone. Hey,
Stop it.
Stop the printers.
Stop the publishing.
How many times do you get to say stop?
Stop the panties.
I did. I honestly learned something today. So I always thought stop the press was like, let's stop the people that are the press from writing about this.
Stop the presses meant
Like let's not write the story.
General. Stop the media.
Because
keep the media silent.
Keep the media like, hey, what? And that's basically what it means. But I didn't think it applied to the actual printing press.
It means we've got something new.
Yeah.
Stop printing the story.
I thought it don't write it.
We have to remake the front page.
Stop the press.
Yeah, stop the presses.
Stop the press.
The press says.
It's presses.
Stop the press.
No one says that.
Now you sound like, well, there was a president who did.
Well, yeah, but not that articulate.
Stop the printers. Which is something I've been pushing for a long.
Don't tease me with a good time.
We're gonna be back next time with another one. Until the first to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark, the Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.